Hi friends, I'm LJ Jarvis, and welcome back to Lewis Jarvis Show. You know what? I want to do something different for you guys. I want to take us back years ago when I was getting into 40k for the very first time ever, and when I first picked up my first few codices for Warhammer 40k. Some of you may be my Twitter followers, and you will know that my first few codices were from 4th edition. More specifically, codices from the Orcs, Tau Empire, Chaos Space Marines, regular Space Marines. It was these codices that got me into the 40k universe. Now, because of my avatar, you would think that would be the Space Marine Codex that would officially hook me into the 40k setting. Now, even though it was a pretty good read for me at the time, it's not really this codex that got me into the 40k setting. But rather, it was the counterpart, the Chaos Space Marine Codex. It was this codex, this shot of vodka, that made me really like the 40k setting. It made me go, whoa, this is probably the best thing ever by far from almost everything I was exposed to before then. And because of this, I figured for today's video, why don't we go over my experience reading through the Chaos Space Marine Codex for the first time ever, telling you my experience with it, and why it was with this codex that officially hooked me into the 40k universe. Now, from the opening page of lore to the bits of lore that we get on what exactly a Space Marine of Chaos is, the gods who they follow, and seeing all the black and white hand-drawn art throughout the codex, this was a mind-blowing thing for me at the time. And reading through what I would describe as dark fantasy, or in the case of 40k, grim dark fantasy, it was something that I was never exposed to at the time, and something that was almost the equivalent of having a shot of vodka. It was a very interesting read for me at the time. And reading about the diverse variants of Chaos Space Marines made this codex stand out from the vanilla variant. For instance, it was interesting to read something about the Khorne Berserkers, Thousand Suns, Plague Marines, and Noise Marines. And seeing the diverse war machines that they have available for them was also something pretty cool, especially the bits of lore about them, like the then named Chaos Dreadnought and the Chaos Defiler. And having the option to summon demons was something especially cool, being able to summon demons both greater and lesser. That was something especially cool for his codex. Seeing the models too that were available at the time, and some of them are still available now, it was something especially cool to browse through when I was reading through his codex for the first time. Again, I'll be honest here, because of this codex, and because of the accessibility that they have, from what certain warband these Chaos Space Marines can be from, and which particular god that they can follow, I think it made this range of models something colorful. Not one Space Marine looks alike. Each Space Marine has their own warped type of armor, and depending on the god they can follow, they can have their own color scheme. One may have the blood red of Khorne, one may have the wrong green of Nurgle, etc. And even though most of the stuff in this model range has been updated for the current game, and rightfully so, I still think these were pretty nice for what they were at the time. I think they did their job on hooking people into not only the 40k setting for what these models represent, but also made them look like really cool models to collect. So that was my experience with reading through this codex for the very first time ever. I think it has done an excellent job on hooking me into the 40k setting. Even though the Space Marine Codex was a very, very interesting read for me, I still think it was the Chaos Space Marines and their codex that made me go, whoa, 40k is nothing like I've seen before. Like hell in space. And the fact that they have their very own Space Marines, not just like the evil variant of Space Marines, but something more hellish and mutated. This is probably the coolest thing ever. And I'm glad that it was with this codex that further amplified that coolness. So that was my experience with reading my very first Codex ever. Your story is probably different from mine, and I would like to hear about your story. What was the Codex that you've read that made you officially hooked into the 40k setting? What was it that made this Codex stand out from all the other factions? Tell me your story in the comments down below this video. I'll be most interested to hear. With all said and done, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again next week with a brand new video. Have a good day, everyone. And if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to subscribe, then make sure to activate the bell notification button so you'll never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you again soon. Have a good one.